So I've had a few questions about the sweet potato stir fry, literally just a couple minutes ago, and Mary and I are getting ready to do another one. So I figured I'd do a little video, real quick and dirty. First things first, we're just going to use a few sweet potatoes, and I like to cut them up pretty small with the skin. I just like the flavor and the texture of the skin. The next thing is we use coconut oil to do this. It tends to cook at a little bit higher temperature, and we just like the extra flavor that the coconut oil adds. I use a non-stick pan with a lid because I'll do the potatoes covered about halfway through the process to basically steam them. So yeah, let's just get started real quick, and I'll try to give you some tips and whatnot, because I've definitely screwed this one up once or twice. So the first thing I do is for this particular dish is I like to cube my potatoes up nice and small, about that big, but about the size of your thumb. That's just because I like the dish to be nice and quick. So I'll just cube up the potatoes. That's probably the first thing that I'm going to do. I don't even have the oil warming up in the pan yet, because this will take me, for these potatoes, this will take me about 2-3 minutes to get this done. But that's the first thing you want to get done. Try to make them as evenly as possible. Clearly you're not going to, unless you spend a lot of time, you're not going to get them perfect. But yeah, that's the first thing I do. So I'm starting my last little tiny, poor unfortunate sweet potato. But right before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get the coconut oil going on the stove. It really doesn't take a whole lot. It looks like more than what it really is. Just a couple spoonfuls. I'm going to get that going on medium-high heat. So there are my sweet potatoes. Almost all the same size. I mean, obviously I didn't spend a whole lot of time on knife cuts and all that fun stuff. But to be honest with you, my knife cuts aren't all that great. But the idea is just roughly to get them all the same size. It's just so they cook about the same time. I'm also going to throw in some carrots at the exact same time, since they're roughly, they're about the same density as a sweet potato. So I'm going to do that right now. My oil is on the stove heating up, and we'll get some carrots in here real quick. So now that I've got my carrots and my sweet potatoes cut up, my oil is nice and hot, so ready to go straight into the pan. Remember to pour these in away from you, or just away from your general body, so you don't burn yourself. Hard to do with a camera in your hand too. Get all those in there, and you're going to want to give them a flip. Again, don't do this with a camera in your hand, just to get the oil all over them. And I'll stir those up here in a second. Get that going. Again, that's on medium-high heat, roughly, and I'm using gas. So those are going to go for probably about 5 to 7 minutes until they start to get a little soft, and then I'll start introducing the other ingredients. Here's something you may or may not know. Apparently, when you cut garlic, you're supposed to let it rest for about 5-10 minutes. It has something to do with activating enzymes or something. So while my potatoes and carrots are going, I'm going to go ahead and chop up some garlic to go in there in a few minutes. And I guess I'll let it rest as long as I feel like letting it rest anyway. So my potatoes have been going for about 5 minutes now, potatoes and carrots. I'm going to add some mushrooms and onions here to that in a second. But now is a good time to actually come over and probably start adding some more spices. I've already added my garlic. So I'm going to start tossing in like some black pepper. There's no salt in this yet, but I am going to, because I don't want to dry it out too fast. But you can see just after 5 minutes, I don't know if you can see down there or not, but the sweet potatoes are starting to get a little soft. So I'm going to start adding the rest of the ingredients here in just a second, and we'll go from there. It's been going about 8 minutes now, and things are starting to look pretty good. I went ahead and added all my spices. That's I threw in a little bit of cayenne just for some heat. Some ground ginger, ground cinnamon. This is actually just gray sea salt in there, not tropical. Vanilla, cloves, and red pepper and nutmeg. So all those are in here now. Things seem to be going on pretty well. The sweet potatoes are looking pretty good. Nice caramelization on the carrots. And what I'm going to do now is go ahead and add the onions and the mushrooms, and as soon as I do that, I'm going to go ahead and cover it up so it can steam the rest of the way. It'll trap all the water from the mushrooms and the onions in there and just kind of steam everything together, and that'll be next to the last step. Now I've got my mushrooms and my onions in there. One last thing I did is I added some pecans and some cranberries, dry cranberries to it, and I'm going to go ahead and cover that up. Kick the heat down to about low medium really on my oven, and I'm going to let that go for about 3 or 4 minutes just to kind of steam everything, and that'll be it really. That's just under or just over 10 minutes total time. And it looks like a lot of ingredients, but that's because I throw in probably way more than I should. But there you go. There's your sweet potato stir fry. Pretty simple. There you go. There's the stir fry. All done. Nice and easy. And then what I like to do is I just serve it on a bed of spinach. And that's it. Pretty straightforward. I think from start to finish, including all the cutting and chopping and all that, less than 15-20 minutes. Easily less than that. And there you go. Good stuff. And good for you.